Good evening, everybody. Welcome back on Test of Speed EU2. We're live from the Yas Marina circuit in Abu Dhabi. Normally the season closing race, but we're going to round 4, right in the middle. I'm Dan, I'm your commentator this evening. Joel is next to me.
Good evening.
Howdy. And we are waiting for the first driver to make their way out onto the circuit.
Taking their sweet time.
Yeah,
which putting on wet setups.
No, it's a EU2. Stranger things have happened. I believe that's one of the Red Bulls out first, so you all know. I think. Might be wrong. No, I am wrong. Who is it first? There's a McLaren and an Arbor. There we go. Someone over that way. Let's ride on board with the Renault man then while we go through some housekeeping. Quite a boring one this week, if we're brutally honest. Only one reserve, that's Vapor Wizzy in for Jonathan Cox. The two absentees are Thomas, who will be getting his second slap on the wrist for such an offence, and Milan, who has had some connection issues last minute before the race and can't join the lobby, so he gets away with that one. Apart from that, it's as you were, all drivers present and correct.
Things you love to see.
Yes, certainly is. So, while we're waiting then, it's quite a long outlap. Everybody, welcome, welcome. I can see people piling in. It's nice to have you all with us for this this event. Of course, Abu Dhabi, or the race at Yas Marina, is a dusk to night race. So we'll be seeing the cars under the floodlights before the end of the evening, as Arbor comes around to start first flying lap. Let's ride on board then. Through turn 1, 90-degree left-hander, up the hill slightly, into the swooping turns of 2, 3 and 4. Now down the hill, chicane for 5 and 6. Hairpin for turn 7 to the left now, and then one of the two long DRS straights on this circuit. And we're going to have heavy brakings on now for turn 8, which is another hairpin, and then into a quick right hand 90-degree corner for turn 9. Got to be careful on the apex there. You do not want to hit the curb. It will bounce you out. Down the second DRS straight, not really a straight, but there we go. Cross that curve a little bit on the right hand side. That's the national pit exit. Oh, Abba cutting the corner there at turn 12. 13 and 14 go by like in a flash. 15, 16 and then 17 with a heavy braking zone to finish. Turn 18 now under the hotel bridge. 19. 2 corners to go now. Turn 20. Don't want to run too wide, you'll lose yourself some time. And turn 21 to finish the lap. Crosses the line. No time set. But F1 Perez in the McLaren is the first man to complete a lap with a 1 minute 33.2.
Not bad at all, as Tom Robert beats it by 300ths of a second. I may need to replicate his performance last week. Certainly impressive.
Who should we jump to next? Timmy. Just coming through sector 2 now as Snipes goes quickest with a 32.8, which is close to pole from last night already, so
yeah, about a tenth off.
Yeah, it's
Snipes is strong in qualifying, and he'll certainly be looking to best that.
Oh, Timmy back end steps out there. He keeps control of the car, but that's the lap gone. going through the left-right section of turns 11 to 14.
Yeah, certainly one of those tracks where people are prone to losing the car.
Yeah. Do we want to go there?
I don't think we do want to go there.
No, let's not go there then. Okay, let's jump to Ricky then. Current championship leader in EU2, I believe. I don't have it to hand, as we see Perez with a new fastest sector 1. Has he gone again? You can have a look at that for me, Joel.
Perez? No, Perez is just...
Oh, it's just good.
So, yeah.
Oh, it must have been his flying lap that's come in late. Yeah, so Ricky then, as far as I'm aware, championship leader. From memory, Abu Dhabi, not a track he particularly likes. He's never done extremely well here in the past. So this, I believe, and I don't think he would have anything against me saying this, is damage limitation for Ricky tonight. But we've heard him say that before, and then he goes to storm the race and win at a canter. So we'll have to wait and see on that front. See what Ricky's up to.
We get a bit of an exciting fight for the lead. The past few races we've had, Snipes around Hungary, Tom Robert around Monaco, been pretty dominant wins. So hope to see some battle for the lead here.
Yeah, and let's just jump on board then with Ricky down the straight. Let's see what top speed he can get up to, and then where he hits the brakes. Down the second straight now. A little bit of a lock up there from Ricky, but he's kept it together. Now down towards turn 15, 16 and 17, where Nico Rosberg and Rain Karthikeyan decided to collect one another. Back in... This is where I need the Wizard. The Wizard would know the answer to this question. I want to say 2014? Maybe earlier than that. I think it was earlier than that, but a fair while ago, quite early on in this race's life as an F1 circuit, an F1 regular, as Ricky goes P5, 33.8. Just tucks in nicely behind his teammate.
Wasn't the cleanest of laps, and there's definitely time in it, but not too bad for now.
Got Tichy on his outlap in the Alfa Romeo. Again, another man who's not been confident around here in the build-up this week. We'll have to wait and see. Meanwhile, I've just spotted on the timing screen, Wizzy has gone purple in sector, but he's invalidated somewhere in the final sector. He was on target for a run at pole with the times he was set in there.
Yeah, well, good signs for him.
Yep. Filling in, of course, tonight for Jonathan Cox, who is unavailable.
Not many times being set as of yet, only 7 times on the board with 8 minutes left in the session.
Well, that's 8 minutes for us anyway. It'd be interesting to see if anybody in the stream chat can tell us how far ahead we are, rather. Or indeed how far behind we are.
I think we've got Snipes on our outlap, never mind me.
Tom Robbo, not TRT Tom R, as he's now called. Very, very good. Sector 1. Sector 2 is comparable with the leaders, so It's his final sector that will be the deciding one. Oh, and he's run wide.
Oh, and Perez with a 32.7 takes pole by over a tenth. Impressive stuff.
Yeah, went purple in Sector 2, and Sector 3 was just ahead of Tom Robos, as we found out anyway. I'll be honest, I didn't see that coming out of there. I did not see a 32.7 coming out of that McLaren.
No, certainly not. I think Perez is certainly someone who can surprise this field with his pace, and if he could get it together more consistently, he could be fighting at the top more regularly.
Certainly could be. There's a man I'll be interested to see the performance of tonight. That's Matrix, the other Renault, because Arba has now set a time of 33.3. Matrix getting a little bit of a top off Titchy. I'm always interested in how people take turn 9 and 10. No, 8 and 9 rather. Because, I don't know about you, Joel, we'll jump across to someone in a minute and have a look, but I quite like a tight line on the hairpin to open out turn 9. But it seems that the majority of people go a little bit deeper than me at the hairpin and come across that and then take the second corner quite tight.
I certainly found more time by getting the middle of my car over that inside curve and try not to invalidate on the inside. There's certainly a couple of tenths if you can nail it, but it's about nailing it.
Yeah. Matrix then, P3 with a 133.0. Snipes then, he's going down towards that corner now, and he's just set the fastest Sector 1 of anybody so far. I believe he's backed out of that.
Off. Yeah, he has. Certainly too early to brake for a flying lap, and I maybe wonder if he's just going to burn a little bit more fuel.
No, I think he's playing the team game with Timmy. He is, he's giving his teammate a bit of a tow. And then gets out of the way. Timmy, of course, down in 16th at the moment, no time on the board.
Oh, and a big lock up there. Sent him a little bit deep, but
I think he's he's managed to keep it together. Keeps it in the lines. Final corner. Powers for the line then, and goes P6 as Snipes comes back into the pits. I would hope that Snipes didn't burn a set of tyres for that.
I think Snipes is smarter than that. Well, I would hope Snipes is smarter than that.
I would as well. So then, at the moment, fastest Sector 1 time is held by Matrix, currently in 3rd place, and fastest Sectors 2 and 3 are held by Perez, our pole sitter, who obviously has the fastest time overall. He is significantly quicker than everybody else in the final sector. Yeah. That's where the time's coming from. He is 0.3 quicker than Matrix through that final sector. That's where all the time is coming from. Same for Snipes, it's a 1/10.5 there, which is where all the time is coming from. It'd be very interesting to see.
Matrix going P3 with that 33 flat.
You missed Matrix going P3, Joel.
Oh.
Don't you tar me with your brush. Let's give the Williams some love then. Donamo, P11 at the moment, on his outlap, going for the top 10. Top 10, of course, have to start on the tyres they qualify on. So, P10 is almost the worst position you can be in, really.
Yeah.
P11 is where a lot of the guys who know they're not going to be sort of top 5 want to be. as they get free choice to tyre and can often claw their way back up the pack. Oh, there's one we missed. Ricky P3, 32.9, takes that fastest middle sector off of Perez. But still, Ricky nearly 3/10 down in the final sector.
Yeah, and I don't know whether it's a practice thing or something to do with his lines, but yeah, he's certainly losing a lot of time in the final sector.
Yeah.
Or maybe Perez is just gaining.
I think Perez is just gaining it. I think he's just gaining it. He's got something either with the setup or with the way he's taking his lines through there that means he's just gaining time, because his middle and first sectors are equal with the guys around him, so it can't be wing. Because it would compromise his straight lines, but unless he got a tow from somewhere. But Dynamo invalidates at turn 9.
Yeah, people coming out now for their final runs.
Yeah, just watching Stumpy at the moment. I'm going to jump across to Perez when he starts his. Stumpy gets out of the way there, having invalidated his lap. Ricky has retired in the pits. He's happy with his effort, and not a bad effort at all it is. Yorno and Jamie, along with Stumpy, are the only men who have not set a time. Stumpy, I don't think, unless he's got enough fuel to go again, will be able to get a time on the board, which is going to be unfortunate for him.
Certainly, P20 is not where, well, P18 in this case is not where you want to be.
No, definitely not. Wizzy has invalidated. So he's on his out. So that's not much of an issue. He'll be able to go around. Matt is out there at the moment.
Yeah, I think he's on an in-lap in P9. I think he'll be over a couple of people improving to get himself in that prestigious P11 spot.
Yeah, he is. Perez then, where is he on track? There. So let's cross him first to P10 with Lewis in the racing point. And that's on at turn 3. It turns. We'll go no. If there's any damage there, Joel.
I can't tell you. I don't think it doesn't come up on the.
Yeah, you might have to do it the old-fashioned way and have a look. And Matrix has gone turn 5.
Yeah, that's interesting, to say the least.
He had an incident there in his very first season with cars back in season 2 at the final race of the year. Him and Dan Robber, Matt's brother, if anyone is so adept to cars history. I just want to have a walk through sector 3. He's invalidated his lap time, so I don't know if he's going to be pushing. He is. I just want to see where this time will be coming from. He seems to have a car that understeered, but seems to pick up again mid-corner. He's just got the 32.5, although it's invalid. And I think Snipe is going to be the only man who can beat him then through the final corner. Fastest first sector. So much in the middle, but he takes it. The 32.6. If Perez had held that lap, he would have taken it, but he couldn't. And it's P2 for the McLaren. Snipes takes pole. Unless P8, Wizzy, and he's invalidated, so it won't be him. That's it then. Everybody, everybody's finished. Stay then with Perez in second and Tom Rowe P3. Ricky holds on for fourth. Yorno P5 with essentially a one-shot qualifying, so great effort from him. Matrix and Arbar make up a fully yellow 6th and 7th. Donamo gets himself P8 in the end. Good lap from Swiss. Jamie in. Jimmy take 10 with dropping down to 11th. Emir in 12th place. Wise Boy 13th. Matt 14th. People did improve, probably more than he would have wanted. Lewis P15, Stumpy P16 did get a lap on the board. They must have had enough to go again. Wizard P17 after that crash at the end of his run, the start of his final lap, and Titchy in P18, 2.5 seconds off the pace. He said it wasn't a good track for him. I didn't think he'd be quite that far away.
Yeah, that's obviously he's just switched over to the wheel, but yeah, that is quite the gap.
Looking then, with the exception of the Wizard, of course, who and Stumpy will take those three at the bottom out of the equation because they had to do one-shot qualifyings and crashed or were significantly off the pace. So Lewis to P1 is separated by just over a second.
Yeah, and on a track where there's quite a lot of corners and a lot of places where the faster guys can gain time, it's certainly a bunched up field.
Yep, so we'll have to wait and see now for strategy. See who's got what plan, who's going to try something different.
Yeah, I think you're a little bit, unless you're going to go for a soft medium, I think the only real strategy around here is a soft medium soft, otherwise you're putting yourself at quite a disadvantage.
Well, I mean, I ran that last night. Personally, I think looking back, I would have preferred to go with a soft medium. But of course, we 2020, and I think anticipating a safety car last night at some point, and we got one VSC early on, and that was it. So should probably have planned for a less eventful race. Of course, not a track where safety cars are common in real F1 either. The only one I can remember in recent times was for when Nico Hulkenberg was hanging like a cow at the upside down at the exit of turn 9.
Yeah, it's one of those tracks, a bit like France, a bit like Spain, where the in real life racing's not all that good, but it tends to provide some good racing in leagues, and that's what we're here for. So.
Yeah. We've had a couple of races here past. I remember Milan and top 10 stream for season 2's finale here. Was high of season 2 in Korea.
It's a little bit laggy, Dan. I don't know whether you're doing a download or anything, but yeah, I think your voice is lagging quite a bit.
Right, that should be us back and raring to go. There was one that had managed to sneak its way through just as the race started. So then, tyres. Nice and simple then. Everybody in the top 10, of course, has to start on the tyres they qualified on, so they're all on the soft compound of tyre. Outside the top 10, free choice, can start on any set they like, and everybody has gone for the medium tyre. I think there is a consensus that the hard tyre around here is to be avoided at all costs.
Yeah, certainly. It's far too slow with the amount of corners and amount of traction that you need. The hards just don't quite cut it.
Of course, in 100% distance that would be different. You could probably try and pull a one-stop out, but you're still not going to have the advantage that the softer compound would give you. So let's get some predictions then, everybody. Get your thoughts in the chat for us. Who do you think is going to end up winning this? Who's going to be the first on the naughty step?
Matrix Don Anna, then Ricky is a podium prediction.
That's bold.
Bold, but not out of the question.
Mm.
I think I'm going to have to go for a Snipes, Tom, Robbo, Yano.
That's a good shout.
That's my guess.
I'm going to go with the top 3 staying as is. I think it will stay. I think it'll stay as it is. Perez maybe, he might take it given his pace, but he's got to get ahead of Snipes, of course, and we know Snipes is very, very quick, so we'll have to wait and see for that one.
Easier said than done.
Very much so. Let's get ready then to go racing in Abu Dhabi. As Tichy and the Wizard, the brothers Riley, finish off the grid. We can jump to the front, watch the lights. We have 5. They're going to go out. We know the drill by now. We wait for the revs. Here we go. Round 4 is underway. It's a good start from Snipes. Tom Robbo as well. Great start, challenging Perez into turn 1, who shuts the door. Tom Robbo still round the outside of him, but can't make that move stick. Further back though, Timmy, great start, up 2 places. Matrix gets ahead of Yorno. Tom Robbo still fighting with Perez down now into turn 5. And the McLaren says no and shuts the door again, but now dives down the inside.
Oh, wing damage. Tom Robbo's lost an end plate.
Yeah, Perez there. We've got wing damage for Donamo as well.
Yeah, 38% for Tom Robbo. He's going to need to box. I would presume the downforce is quite prominent round here, especially in Sector 3.
So then early winners, we've got Timmy where to next, and Yorno takes a 10-second penalty for cutting that corner, gaining some positions there. I imagine he would have locked up to avoid someone, got wing damage in the process, so double whammy for him. Perez forces Tom Robbo wide, and we've got him round, and I'll be honest, I think Perez could be in trouble for that one. Very aggressive start from the McLaren, and Tom Robbo now, the AlphaTauri man, at the back of the field.
Yeah, Snipes has already pulled that 1.5 second gap, and he's got to think with Perez already having that time penalty, it might already be over.
Maybe. But we've got 28 laps of this race, 27 now to go. And Ricky in P3 will be like the big bad wolf, sitting there waiting for the Red Riding Hood of opportunity to show herself, so he can try and snatch a victory.
Yeah, good start for both the Renaults as well, avoiding all the carnage and pushing themselves up.
Yeah, big winners then after lap 1. Timmy where to next, up 4 places. Emir and Lewis as well, up 4. Big losers, of course, Tom Robbo, Yorno and Donamo, all of whom have had to stop with wing damage. Looking at the telemetry that we have, Perez doesn't have his public, so penalty coming his way. Vapor Wizzy has 6% wing damage on the right hand side. Now that doesn't sound like a lot, and in most races you would be able to carry on unhindered. However, around here, as I found out to my cost last night, I had 3%, I think it was, wing damage on the left hand side, and my left front tyre was torn to pieces.
Yeah, certainly going to affect you under
heavy
braking.
The lack of downforce, it affected me under braking. The turn-in wasn't great, and then the tyre started to overheat, so I had no traction. Puts itself in almost a double whammy, as we see Perez set the fastest lap with a 1:37.8. And he is now within the window of Snipes, and he's dropping Ricky, so
can't tell. He's got one warning, I believe, on top of his 3 seconds, if I'm analysing this
if you want to, well, have a look. If you have a look at the in-game race director, it'll tell you if any of those are for contact, which I think one will be with Tom Robbo from that start.
Yeah, he got a collision warning.
Yeah, I think that's the only warning he's got. The 3-second penalty is for corner cut, and it was a straight penalty. Yeah. So all the leaders then with all 3 warnings intact. Matrix in P4 has had 2 warnings already, so he is the man closest to a penalty at the moment. Jamie is on par with him, as is Wisey Boy.
Yeah, I think from now on the aims of these drivers will just be to get DRS and help pull yourself along.
Yeah, I'm just going to change this back to tyres, and then we can see Wizzy is the lead medium runner, currently in P7, but he is just outside the DRS window of Timmy, who will be trying to keep him there. Emir now is caught behind Jamie. He'll want to get through as quickly as possible. We're riding on board.
Yeah, Emir already getting 3 seconds for track extending.
I think we could see a move from Matt on Lewis as well, Joel, if you want to keep an eye on that one for us. Once we get down to the straights, Emir then closing in on Jamie, who is outside of the window of Vapor Wizzy. This should be a simple move for the Haas, but he does have a bit of a train behind him, so there could be anything happen. We could see Wisey Boy go for a double here, as Emir pulls out and makes the move. Matt not really going for it, as we thought he might do.
Yeah.
And Emir's open to a counter-attack from Jamie.
Yeah, Emir's burned a lot of his DRS for the start of the race, which is bold, certainly, but if that's what he feels comfortable with, then
it's not difficult to get it back round here either, so if he can pull that gap, then he should be okay.
Yeah, a lot of penalties already been handed out.
A lot of close racing as well, as Arbar picks up his 2nd warning. Wizzy then still carrying on with that wing damage, and he's managed to get himself within the DRS window. So at the moment it looks like the right hand side is better than the left for that sort of thing, and Jamie's into the pits early then for him. End of lap 4, and he's out on the medium tyre. I would imagine this is what I wanted to do yesterday if I was inside the top 10. Stop early, probably around lap 4 or 5, and then 2 stop to medium. So, first man through the pits.
Certainly may work.
It's served me well in the past. It even got me a race win here back in season 2. So let's see how Jamie can do, and see if he can pull off another superb performance like he had in Singapore last season.
Yeah, I think Vapor Wizzy's got himself in quite a good position here, being the lead medium runner and possibly even jumping Timmy, who's on the softs. Now, from now on, he's going to have the best tyres on track once he's pitted off those mediums.
Perez gets 3 seconds for multiple warnings, so he's picked up 3 warnings in as many laps, which is not going to bode well. That's 6 seconds at the moment for him.
Yeah, that will certainly see him drop down the field, you would think.
We saw Wizzy.
Ricky, don't tend to get track extension penalties.
No, definitely not from Ricky. It's not his style. Ricky, though, under pressure from his former teammate in Matrix, who has very narrowly avoided the pit entry wall. As he comes in for an early stop as well. Want to cost himself a couple of seconds there. But he's in for medium tyres. Which
certainly one of the more difficult pits to enter, with the possibilities of locking up and missing entirely.
Let's see how he does on the exit. And he's through cleanly on the exit there. And he's out just ahead of Yorno. Yeah, just ahead. With 6 seconds now to try and catch up with Tichy.
Yeah, that's the sort of clean air you want to be pitting into. Good space for him to push.
Wow, Matt and Lewis side by side into turn 8. And Matt's going to take position. Oh, and Lewis has pushed him round, but he's kept it out of the wall. The Williams man. And Lewis is waiting for him. Great sportsmanship from the British karting champion.
Yeah, that's what we like to see.
And allows Matt to retake the position. Great sportsmanship there from Lewis. That allowed Stumpy and the Wizard as well. Both went through. It's given Wisey Boy a lot of breathing room as well in his pursuit of Emir. As Arbar picks up a penalty. And we missed a swap for the lead, but Perez got it and is now into the pits. Snipes is going on. Ricky is in as well, as is Arbar.
Yeah, I think Snipes' tyres will be good enough for the next lap or two, so he'll probably try and extend them that little bit longer and get that soft, medium, soft completed. Yeah,
the Ferraris need to be careful though. Not a massive gap between them, so they will not be able to stack. Of course, don't forget, anybody who isn't aware, the stacking in this game is not as slick as any of us, or indeed Mercedes, have made it, or would like it to be. You need at least 15 to 20 seconds between yourself and your teammate in order to make a stacked stop.
Certainly.
So what do you reckon? Do you think Snipes will come in first, or Timmy?
If I'm Snipes, I'm boxing this lap, and Timmy is the car behind us. Probably just got to wait and see what Snipes does. Well, if Snipes doesn't box, Timmy boxes. But one of them's got to come in, that's for sure.
Stumpy there was closing in on the Wizard. Not quite enough road to get the move done. Well, it won't be long. No damage for the Wizard, but he seems to be struggling on those medium tyres for pace at the moment.
Yes, Snipes stays out another lap, so that would hopefully suit. No, Timmy stays out another lap as well. Okay, they're both. You know,
and that's Tichy.
Mid-40s.
Tichy has spun it at turn 14.
Oh, and he's round again.
Yeah,
doing pirouettes.
I'll be honest, Titch, box, mate. Box for some yards. He's going to have to cruise around now until those tyres cool down. And a full course safety car is out as a result. And that's meant that Ricky has come in again. I'm not sure for which tyre. Tom Robbo has boxed again as well. Tom Robbo's boxed for hards, which I'm not sure about, if I'm honest.
Yeah, I don't think that's beneficial.
No. Tichy coming in for a wing and a tyre change. He's going for another set of softs. Fair play Tichy. Ricky back in for mediums then. Let's jump to the leaders. Of course they are under a delta, but what's the gap between the leaders and the likes of Perez? 18.9 seconds at the moment, so Snipes should be able to box and come out in front by quite a long way. Pit delta around here is roughly 22 seconds normally.
Yeah, I would think this is not very good for Perez. He's going to lose out massively here.
Stumpy, big wing damage.
Yeah, and getting a 5-second time penalty for a collision with him. So
yeah, and Snipes boxes then. So let's see where Perez is in relation to our leader, Wizzy and Timmy. Yeah, you might as well. The stack isn't going to cost you as much time. Perez is going to come through.
It goes to the hards. That's
the only option he has.
The right choice. Yeah, I think I probably would have stayed out if I was him.
And Perez is boxed. And there's going to be a stack now behind the Wizard, so this is all going wrong for Perez. Why he stopped, I'll never know. If I'm honest, he's stopping for the hards as well. I don't know why he's doing that.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to get to the point now where so many people are on the hards that they're not going to lose out as much. But
no. But as we see, Emir leads the race currently on the tyres he started on, so 8-lap old medium tyres. Snipes in second place, having started on pole. Vapor Wizzy in third place. Arbar in fourth and Matrix in fifth. Yorno down to sixth. Jamie seventh. Timmy, after being held in the pits with the stack stop, comes out in P8. Very good for him at the moment. Wisey Boy P9. Matt in P10, the last point scoring position. The Wizard, after his stop on softs, by the way, is now in 11th place. Donamo P12. Racer or Lewis in P13 after his clash with Matt, and I believe a wing change at his stop, has also gone for hards. Stumpy mediums in P14. Perez, as we saw, down in 15th place.
Yeah, it's gone from bad to worse with that extra pit stop added in there, but you know,
that's the thing. I don't know why he stopped. He would have got out ahead of Snipes if he'd carried on. Snipes had a very slow final sector and lost quite a lot of time. He would have got out ahead of him and would have now been in at least second place.
Well, also say the hards are a bad tyre. Vapor Wizzy in third on the hards, won't have to stop again. And if he can use his defensive nous to keep others behind, or at least limit how quickly they can get past him, he could be in quite a good position come the end.
Could be, yeah. It will depend how well the guys behind him hold on to those tyres. Of course, Arbar had just stopped before the safety car came out. Matrix as well, but then you've got Yorno and Jamie, all four of whom are on worn tyres. The first fresh tyred runner is Timmy in P8. So if Vapor Wizzy can keep all of those behind him, I think he needs to let Snipes go. I don't think he'll be able to keep up with him, and I don't think he should try to. If Snipes looks after those tyres, he will be able to go to the end. They will be dreadful by the end, and it's probably more harm than good if he does that.
Yeah, however, we did see the top two in EU3 last night do the soft medium successfully. So if he's got the pace, then he can certainly make it work.
Yeah. If it was me, I would keep going and box at the... Well, from now, probably box around lap 21 for softs.
Yeah, 2021 is certainly the way to go.
We've seen Tichy box again to cycle tyres. Seems to be his signature move.
Indeed.
So everybody then in the green on tyre wear, apart from Donamo, Yorno and Emir. Safety car is in this lap.
Has probably helped Yorno, if I'm being honest. He's probably going to be able to get those mediums to the point where he can just shove another set of mediums and not lose out that much.
Yeah, well, it's brought all the guys who had to stop early back into the game. The only man it seems to have hindered is Tichy, who's still a fair way off the pack, but he should be able to catch before the end. Let's stick with Emir then.
Being as slow as it is.
Of course, safety car rules do apply. Safety car has to be in the pit lane before you can bolt as the driver in the lead, so in this case Emir. And you cannot overtake, this goes for the whole field, until you have crossed the start-finish line. It used to be the pit entry line, which was the safety car line. It's no longer the case, that is the start-finish line. So Emir will back this pack up. Safety car is now in the pits, he can go when he's ready.
Yeah, he's not in any hurry. Oh, and Perez gets a 5-second penalty for a collision with Stumpy. It's going from bad to worse.
Yeah, Emir went very late and it's not really helped him. Snipes has stayed in touch, but no overtakes then off the restart.
I think Ricky's had an incident. He's dropped to 17th. I don't think he was there before.
No, he wasn't. No wing damage for him either, so whatever it was, he's just made a mistake. And Emir had a shock in turn 5 and 6, and that has allowed Snipes right back on his tail.
Yeah, Emir's not giving it up lightly though, burning all his ERS.
Yeah, so is Snipes. Wants it done early, just waiting for the next straight. You're going to have better traction, you're on fresher tyres, you don't need to make it happen now. There we go.
It was not good.
No, lost the back end a little bit. And he's now under pressure from Vapor Wizzy, who is also under pressure from Arbar, going side by side. And Arbar might have the position there. Indeed he does. Arbar, great move into P3. So what we said about Wizzy holding off the guys behind has not been easy to do at all. Arbar now gets ahead. The onus now on the second Renault of Matrix to make that move on the Mercedes.
Yeah, I think if I'm Vapor Wizzy, I'm sort of gonna battle as hard as I can, but not worry too much about the likes of Matrix and Arbar. It's more maybe using Yorn as a bit of a buffer to try and keep the likes of Timmy and Wisey Boy behind.
The problem Wizzy's got now though is he's right in this train of cars, and letting one go is going to cause a very, very big issue. He needs to stay in range for DRS, if I'm honest.
Yeah, but that's easier said than done, unfortunately, on hards around Abu Dhabi.
Yeah, no DRS at the moment, of course, but Snipes has gone for it. It's going to be a battle of straight line speed. Let's ride on board with Arbar, Matt, then, the car behind. Further down the order, we've got Matt closing in on Wisey Boy, and Snipes looks like he's got it. He's got the inside line, brakes a little bit earlier to turn in. Leaves Emir the space, but Arbar then gets squeezed out of that one by the Haas. But Snipes has retaken the lead then on lap 12, and will now try and pull away.
Yeah, that's it. I think Snipes is off and away. Now he's fast Emir.
Little bit of housekeeping I forgot to tell you at the start of the race. No interviews tonight. I have to be up for work early again because, you know, life's one of them things.
Old people problems, man.
Oh, behave. But yes, older people problems.
And Emir now under some pressure from Arbar. He's not going to make the move into turn 1, but
he'll be going for it. He'll be going for it down the main straight, yeah. All over the gearbox of that Haas. Might even go for it earlier, in fact he is.
Yeah, round the outside in the first chicane.
Going for it at turn 4, swoops through. Great move from the Canadian.
Yeah, impressive stuff, and it's brought a bit more of a challenge to Snipes than Snipes maybe would have wanted. Maybe Snipes was hoping Emir would hold Arbar behind a little bit longer, but not in the DRS Arbar. But we're certainly looking to get in that DRS.
Emir though closing in, but lost a lot of time through the hairpin to Arbar, so. And again, lost a lot of time on the exit. That's purely down to traction. And we've got a spinner. Is that the Wizard or is that Perez?
That's the Wizard.
No damage for the Wizard, but he's gone round. Matt has got himself ahead of Wisey Boy. The second DRS zone.
Yeah, he needs to.
Under pressure though.
Here.
Timmy's being held up behind Jamie at the moment, so I think he'll be able to get in that window to hold off the Pink Panther behind him.
Yeah, certainly Sector 3 is not the sector where you want to be sat right up the gearbox of the car.
And Jamie's into the pits. Arbar as well, having now cleared Emir, is within the DRS window of Snipes.
Yeah, he's burnt a lot of his DRS, but he will be able to get that back. And yeah, certainly not race over very far back. And
yeah, only 2 laps in it, so
further to Snipes.
Possible undercut on the cards for him as well.
Yeah, however, Arbar does have 3 seconds and an extra warning on top of that, whereas Snipes hasn't got a singular warning.
Matrix with a lock up there into turn 8.
Gets the move done on Emir. Oh, and Ricky gets a time penalty. That's certainly not the script, because Yorna's going to try round the outside.
Is he going to have it? Let's wait and see. Emir will force him wide, but now he's going to have to sweep round the outside of him. They're going to go side by side here. This is not going to end well. I've seen this go wrong before. Oh, but there's a little tap on the Haas, but he keeps it together. Timmy has to cut the corner to avoid contact. Emir, though, the cork in the bottle right now. Matrix got away and has now cleared the window. Snipes is trying to put the hammer down up front. Interesting fact for anybody who's missed it, Juventus are out of the Champions League. Finished 4-4 at the end of extra time. Porto going through on away goals. Oh, Emir's gone! He's round! Somehow everyone avoided him. I think the ghosting system will have come into effect there. I think Yorna will need some new underwear, and I think Timmy will need a new larynx. That's... oh.
I believe another Haas did a similar thing last night and didn't end so well for his teammate, that's for sure.
No, Emir thankfully manages to keep it out of the wall. He went at the entry of turn 3 rather than most of the way through when he tries to straighten up for turn 4, so managed to swing it into the infield section rather than into the wall on the outside. But that allows the
over points.
Yeah, he'll need to stop anyway, which will bring him back with the rest of the field. Vapor Wizzy in a very good position still. Of course, Emir dropping down will give him some breathing room to Yorno, of course, but he's keeping Matrix honest at the moment.
Yeah, he is, and he's only 5 seconds off the lead, and with the pit delta being 20 or so seconds, you know, I don't think he's going to win it because the softs are ridiculous compared to the hards, but he's certainly going to be in for a top 5 possibly.
He's also on 6 seconds of penalties, which is not going to help him.
Certainly not, as Jamie sets the fastest lap, 36.6.
Let's see what Wizzy can do then.
Arbar's now dropped out of that 1 second window for Snipes very slightly.
Timmy's got ahead of Yorno.
Yeah, and that's maybe not what Yorno would have wanted, but he might have another go back at Timmy.
He may do, or we could see Matt come at him as well. The tyres on that Red Bull aren't aging.
Yeah,
he's pulled out very early to have a go at him. Backs out of it as well. Another lap. He's smart enough to know if he waits his turn, he'll have a run at that Red Bull.
Yes, Ricky's got past Stumpy, and I don't know whether he did before, but he's picked up 19% wind damage, Ricky. So whether that was coming together with Stumpy.
I think it might have been. That's relatively new. Matt running wide at the penultimate corner. As we see Yorno pit.
Yeah, long time coming, that's for sure. 50% wear on those mediums, can't have been feeling the nicest.
No.
Yeah, Snipes has pulled out 3/10 in that last lap. Well, 2/10. And he's on his way to another victory, it would seem.
I think we're going to see Wisey Boy go for a move on Matt here. If not on this straight, the next. Let's jump back though, because Tom Robbo, he is going for a move on the other racing point and has made that move stick. Meanwhile, Wisey Boy went side by side with Matt but couldn't make that move stick, but now he's going to have a much better exit. DRS and ERS active, and he's through. He's going to have to swoop round the outside, but Matt doesn't fight it too harshly. Timmy, meanwhile, is now into 4th place. Got himself ahead of Wizzy. We saw that just in the bottom of the screen as we were watching the battle for 6th, rather. Battle for 4th has now gone the way of Timmy, who is catching and within DRS of Matrix. As I say that, he drops out a bit. I imagine he'll get back in before the zone detection point. Arbar back. Yeah, Arbar back in the window for Snipes now. As we cross to start lap 18 of 28. Medium runners now. Medium runners, particularly those towards the front, will be thinking about stopping soon in the next 2 to 3 laps if they're going to stop again. Percentage-wise, Snipes is looking after his tyres a lot. Looking after them very well. Arbar, of course, attacking hard. Matrix the same.
Yeah, I think if I'm Snipes, I'm second guessing whether to pit again, to be honest. I think those tyres are in good nick and will stay in.
How much ERS has Snipes got?
73%, so he's got
a fair chunk, hasn't he? If it was me, I'd pit the lap after Arbar does, because at the minute Arbar's his insurance policy.
Yeah.
He's got that penalty. Snipes is holding him just outside the window. And that's Titchy.
Yeah, not having the best time out on track, that's for sure.
Timmy all over the back of Matrix at the moment. Timmy, out of the 2 Ferraris, Timmy's the one I would suggest maybe worth looking at the undercut. Although at the moment that would put him in quite a bad position. It'd probably put him behind the Wizard.
Did he fail a pit entry?
No, Arbar pitted, so Matrix had to bail out of it to avoid getting the stack. And that's compromised him now with Timmy and probably with Vapor as well. But Arbar going for the undercut. And it'd be interesting to see whether Arbar does come out ahead of the Wizard or not as they go up the hill. You can just see it there on the map on the right hand side now, and the Wizard's got out ahead of him.
Timmy's going to be looking for the move on Matrix here. He's not burning the RS, so maybe he's going to wait till the next straight.
So that's what I'd do. Always wait till the second straight. Use DRS and fuel.
Vapor Wizzy might be trying to follow him through, but with 20% ERS he may struggle.
Matrix, I think his race is compromised if he stops now. Especially if it's for mediums. His best chance is probably to go another lap or 2 and go to softs. He's going to try and fight Timmy for every position, for every inch of ground, but the Ferrari just too quick, just got too much grip and easily gets past. So it's a Ferrari 1-2 then at the moment.
Yeah, things we haven't seen in a while.
Right. I will not have Ferrari slander from you, Granger. Matt I used to take it from, because, well, it's Matt. I'm not having it from you.
I can only apologise.
Don't pretend that you're actually sorry. Matrix in then from third place, and he's going to softs anyway, so early stop for that. Well, I say that 9 laps, if they're a completely fresh set, that they will go that far. Also in as well are Matt and Wisey Boy, and Wisey Boy gets the jump on Matt. I think Matt got held by Matrix there.
I'm almost surprised Arbar went to the mediums. I think he probably, well, I definitely think he could have gone to the softs and it would have lasted to the end. Bit of a late call to hit them for the mediums, but he might make it work.
So guys at the front then, bear in mind we've got 8 laps to go. Snipes looking good, tyres in the early 30s. He will probably be able to make it. They'll just be so slow. Timmy, late 30s for him, not so comfortable probably by the end.
Yeah, I certainly think we'll see Timmy pit again.
The very interesting thing to me though is the comparison between Wizzy and Snipes on tyre wear. For everyone at home, they are almost identical. Wizzy and Snipes 32, 34, 30, well, both front tyres are pretty much the same. Snipes has just ticked over into 35 on his front right now compared to 34 for Wizzy. Rear tyre Snipes is slightly higher, but only by what you would expect to maybe be a lap or so. So Wizzy, I don't know whether Snipes is taking especially good care of his or if Wizzy is driving particularly aggressively. Judging from Tom Robbo behind him, it looks like it's the former.
Yeah, I certainly think Snipes has done a great job on those tyres. I think from now on the hards will wear a lot less than the mediums. The mediums will just drop from now on. But yeah, I think Snipes almost escapes with one here because Arbar pitting on the mediums, he's not going to be as fast as he should be if he'd have gone to the softs. So I think Snipes doesn't really have to worry too much if he decides to stay out.
As we see Yorno go for a move on Jamie for 9th place. Easy stuff for the two Dutchmen to negotiate, and Yorno is now up a place. I think the thing that's going to interest me now is whether Timmy stops. Snipes I don't think will, unless he absolutely has to. He's got a big enough lead, and looking at the way his tyres are wearing, he's comfortable where he is. Timmy's the man that's probably in danger.
Yeah, certainly. He's going to be cutting it fine, but maybe, obviously, with the hard runners going to be going to the end, he maybe hopes that the likes of Arbar and Yorno might struggle to get past those hard runners. And
Arbar
like
fighting with well, he's fighting with Ricky, going for a move through the very technical sector 3. Ricky's gone. Ricky hits the wall, having fought with Arbar there. Arbar desperate to get through to try and make up the time he's lost by pitting. And Ricky defending as he's entitled to do. Not quite sure how that one will play out in the steward's room. We'll have to wait and see for that one. But Arbar now back into P7. Ricky unfortunately has to make a pit stop. Probably a wing change, but we'll go to softs.
6% from that little altercation. That will hamper his pace very slightly.
So that's something else actually that's interesting. Imagine Wizzy's pace if he didn't have that damage, because it will be affecting him. He probably won't have the temperature issues on the hard tyre that the other two compounds would give him. But the performance under braking and with left-hand turns, I think he will struggle with.
Yeah, he's certainly done a great job on those hards, and as is Tom Robbo, he's not too far off Wizzy, and coming from the back of the field, he's done a good job.
Stumpy as well, let's give some credit to. P5 at the moment, in the Alpha.
Yeah.
Right on the back of Tom Robbo.
Yeah, he has to pit again, but Certainly
Well, you
shown some
say
decent
that.
pace and
You say he has to
done
stop
some
again.
improvement.
I'm not sure he does.
Yeah, I mean maybe. He'll be
Let's have a look.
again,
Stumpy.
in the same boat as
Oh no,
Timmy.
Stumpy does. He's gone medium.
Yeah.
He will have to stop again.
Yeah,
Unfortunate
I
that.
don't know whether he knows it, and surely he would have pitted before now if he's planning to stop again.
Unless he's going for the fastest lap just to deny it. 'Cause it will drop him quite a way down the order.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it will drop him. He's 10 seconds off the lead, so it will drop him to P13, 14 by the time he stops. So, not sure if he'll be able to salvage anything from that. Wisey Boy and Matt, then these two locked together for what seems like years now. Both started at the same time in Australia Season 2. In terms of longevity, along with Ricky, the two most long-standing drivers in Contest of Speed and in Tier 2 in particular. Wisey Boy looking at Matrix but couldn't make that move. Matrix really struggling for pace.
Yeah, Matrix has really dropped down the order ever since he had to bail out that pit stop because of R4 pitting. That's allowed Yawn now to get the jump on him. Timmy's tyres now on 50% with 4 laps to go. He's going to be really struggling for speed now.
I was trying to do the maths, not my strong suit admittedly, but I think he'll be looking at around the 68 to 72% mark depending on how he goes from now. So anything over 65 is puncture range, over 70 is dangerous in terms of punctures, and then once you get over 80 you're on borrowed time essentially on those tyres. Not a lot of high load corners here though, Joel, I don't think.
Yeah, I think the puncture system in this game is quite random. I've seen cases where people have got to 95% and not had a puncture. Oh, and Ricky's
retired in the pits. It's unfortunate for Ricky.
Yeah, certainly been a race to forget from Ricky.
Yeah, I've seen people in the past get punctures immediately off the line starting the race on a fresh set, so it is random, but of course it is really as well. There can be a piece of debris, or you can go over a curb at the wrong angle and that can tear a tyre, so I think the wear just makes it more likely.
Yeah, as Ricky's retired car has come back on track, another beautiful glitch.
Yes, love to see it. Just jumping across then to Lewis on the back of Stumpy. Stumpy's tyres now starting to feel the effects, dropping away from Tom Robbo. Vapor Wizzy though coming back now at Timmy. That'll be an interesting battle to watch. But let's jump to that one. We can always come back to Lewis when he goes for that move on Stumpy, which I think won't be too far away.
Yeah, Vapor Wizzy's got 6 seconds of penalties compared to Timmy's 3, so he's going to need to clear Timmy and then pull that gap, but with Timmy's tyre situation that's certainly not impossible.
Here we go then, Lewis down the inside of Stumpy, forces him wide. Stumpy's forced to cut the corner, but does concede the position to Lewis. Where's he though, staying behind Timmy for the moment? Maybe he's thinking that Timmy's going to have to stop, or he's just using him to drag himself closer to Snipes.
Yeah, I'll maybe try and pull away from Tom Robbo a little bit.
I tell you what, I'd like to give Tom Robbo a little bit of credit as well, actually. The recovery drive to get himself into P4, what may end up being, if penalties stay as they are, P3, is fantastic. So I mean, he's definitely one to consider for driver of the day, along with probably the Snipes, and Timmy as well. In fairness,
yeah, and you can throw Baker Izzy in this conversation.
Yeah, the top four. I mean, we say the top four. Look at Lewis, up 10 places from where he started in P5, and doesn't look like he's going anywhere. Yeah,
he's got R-Bar or fresh mediums behind him, so I certainly think we could see a position change there. But yeah,
Wizzy burning all his energy there. Closing in on Timmy. Is he going to go for it? No, he's clever. He knows he's staying behind, waiting for the second DRS zone. Arbar's already made the move on Lewis for P5.
Yeah, I don't know about that from Wizzy. I think he's almost in that position there where he's kind of got to go for the move. I think he probably could have.
Here we go though. He's going for it round the outside. And that's one of the corners the outside works. Wizzy takes P2 then. But that's brought Tom Robbo right back into play. Look at that. Oh, and Wizzy's picked up another
penalty.
one.
Yeah, that's certainly not going to help him.
That's going to be his downfall. That's one of the Williams. That's Matt. That's Matt gone at turn, well, looks like 15.
19% wing damage for the Williams. That's, yeah, not great.
Puts him back behind Wisey Boy. Might have been those two going side by side. To wait and see. Arbar, meanwhile, just over the second now. Let's see. Tom Robbo and Timmy ahead of us. Penalty situation is looking in the two ahead of him's favour. He's got to overtake and get a 3-second window unless he can force one of those two into a mistake themselves. He's in DRS range. So let's see. Timmy goes very deep into the hairpin. He'll get a better exit, but it won't have saved him any time there.
Yeah, I don't know what wing this thing was running, but he just seemed to absolutely bolt out of that corner compared to Tom Robbo, and Tom Robbo was using ERS. Might be a little bit more difficult than Tom Robbo first thought.
Yeah, Arbar needs these two to sort this fight out quickly.
Tom Robbo goes for it down the outside, and I think that move's going to be pretty easy. Oh, and Tom, that was very close. Nearly flew into the back of Wizzy, but he didn't.
Arbar, look at this, going for it again into the triple right-hander. He's ahead of Timmy. Bold move from the Canadian again. We've seen it over and over. He's been going for those overtakes. Ricardo style, slinging it, licking the stamp and sending it, I should say, in that Renault.
Yeah, and all this overtaking and battling can't be doing Timmy's tyres any good. They're in the high 60s now, and he'll certainly be praying to the
positive for Timmy.
Goals.
Positive for Timmy though now. He just needs to bring them home. He shouldn't lose out to Lewis from where he is, and Arbar has to clear him by 3 seconds, which at the moment he's not doing.
Yes.
That's in the pits.
Tires. I think he's realised that he's going to get disqualified for not using the correct tyre compounds, and has ended his own race in the pits, unfortunately, to end it.
Tom Robbo still within DRS range of Wizzy, which is holding Arbar off for the moment. Arbar will probably have one more attempt at this. Gets a much better drive, tucks in behind, but the sheer power of that Alpha Tauri, look at it go!
Arbar had no ERS to burn, and Tom Robbo had that little bit extra, which is coming to save him. And I don't think Arbar's really going to get another shot unless he can.
Well, we've said that he might try it. I'm going to have to stay on board just for another corner or two before we go to the leader. Wizzy holding these guys up. Tom Robbo looks like he's in line for second place on penalties right now. Arbar will be saying get out of the way. There's a P4 on for me here. I just need to clear Timmy. Snipes, though, we see, comes across the line to win the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Tom Robbo takes second. Arba gets knocked out of third by Timmy by 2/10. And drops to fourth place. Wizzy, after a stellar drive on those hard tyres, takes P5. Lewis P6. Matrix in seventh place. Manages to hold off Wisey Boy. Jamie P9. Yorno takes the final point. Perez P11. Wizard P12. What could have been for Perez and the McLaren team. Emir P13. And then we'll see Matt and Donamo 14th and 15th again. What could have been for them had the race gone differently. Matt gets the fastest lap at the death to take the points away from... actually, I don't think they were they? I think it was the Wizard who had it.
Wizard,
yeah. Donamo then will also be looking for the glory of the fastest lap. Can he take it off his teammate? Loses out of the final corner. Not quite. Tichy then, the last man who can take it. Can he do it? Not quite. So at one end of the field, it's joy for Ferrari. A double podium, with Snipes winning and Timmy taking third place. And at the back of the field for the McLarens and the Williams, it's disappointment and thoughts of what might have been. Dominant performance from Snipes then to take the win, but I think the two behind him, Timmy, Tom Roberts' recovery drive was fantastic. Timmy, great pace all the way through to make that strategy work. Kept it clean-ish, only having the one penalty, which jumped him back ahead of Vapor Wizzy and Arbar. Arbar nearly making that strategy work. One more lap and I think he would have been on the podium at least. So
maybe
like we
those
said,
penalties would have hampered him.
Maybe. Arbar in 4th, Wizzy 5th, Lewis 6th, Matrix 7th, Wisey Boy 8th, Jamie in 9th, and Yorno in 10th to round out the point scorers. As we saw at the end there, Matt took the fastest lap, so no extra points allocated this week. It was Perez, Wizard, Emir, Matt, Donamo, Tichy and Stumpy. Your finishers and your one DNF is Ricky. Stumpy officially classified, having completed the majority of the race, only accounted for being one lap down.
Yeah, I think there's only one driver of the day really on that grid. A great recovery drive from Tom Robbo, pulling off the two-stop whilst using the hard tyre. Great stuff.
Yeah,
from the Alpha Tauri.
I think you're correct. I think it's between him and Snipes, I think, for driver of the day. Snipes, of course, getting the Grand Slam, overtaking Emir first lap after the safety car, so led every lap it was able for him to do so. Oh no, he didn't get the fastest lap. It's not a Grand Slam. Yeah, so dominant performance from the Ferraris there, finishing 1st and 3rd. So then, as we said, no interviews unfortunately tonight, unless you want to do them, Joel.
I think I'll leave it till next week.
Yeah, no, I'm not having the audio on about Ferrari. We all know how good Ferrari is. Just leave it there. So we'll leave you with shots of the car then of your race winner, IFR Snipes. If you've enjoyed the stream, make sure you hit that follow button on Twitch, and if you're feeling generous, you can subscribe to us as well. We have a main channel, that's Contest of Speed. If you want to go and like that channel as well, that would be very much appreciated. You can tune in just over 2.5 hours time for AM2, our American guys, or Americas I should say, going for their round 4 at Abu Dhabi, and I'm sure they'll be grateful for the support. if you have enjoyed the stream and you're watching this back on YouTube later, make sure you hit subscribe, and you can keep up to date with everything Contest of Speed has to offer. If you're thinking, well, I don't want to stay up that late to watch the AM guys, but I want to watch some more cars, but I don't want to wait till next week, you can do that. You can do that. Tomorrow night, 10 PM UK, you've got EU1, the fastest guys. We have the Freaks of Nature, in a good way. They'll be racing again here at Abu Dhabi, so you can tune in for that. And then we have EU4, possibly the funnest tier to watch in cars racing, on Thursday, same time at 10 PM UK. As we said, AM2 in 2.5 hours time, that's at 2 AM in the UK, 9 PM Eastern. And same time tomorrow night, so 2 AM UK and 9 PM Eastern on Wednesday for AM1. You can also catch the ED 100% tiers this weekend, Friday and Saturday, 9:30 PM. If you're feeling very generous, go on, we know you want to. You can tag onto our web store, contestofspeed.live/merch, and grab yourself something lovely. Make sure you follow us on all the social medias to stay up to date with everything Contest of Speed. Thank you all very much for watching. We'll see you next week for round 5 at Japan. Good evening. Have a great rest of your day.